It was a story passed down from one generation to the next, but nobody ever thought I would have to live it. My mother's name was Adama, but in our village, she was known as something else. The woman with the beard, cursed by the gods. I was just a child when the whispers started. The elders would gather and talk in hushed tones, warning us about the woman who wore the mark of a witch. What they didn't know was that my mother wasn't cursed. She was just different. But being different in our village meant one thing. You were an outcast. Adama's beard grew thick and fast, like something out of the old myths. For a woman it was unnatural, unholy. People stared at her, their eyes filled with suspicion and disgust. A woman with a beard is a curse, they said, a sign from the gods. Neighbors avoided her, children ran in fear, and even our family turned their backs on her. The village that once embraced her was now her enemy. And as if that wasn't enough, the elders decreed that she must be married off to a native doctor, a man who practiced strange rituals just to purify her. No one cared that my mother was not a witch. They only saw a woman who didn't fit into their narrow understanding of what a woman should be. My mother, in all her courage, was forced into a marriage with a man who used her to perform dark and ancient rites. When my mother discovered she was pregnant, things only got worse. The native doctor saw her as nothing more than a tool for his so-called magic, a magic that was nothing but cruelty. The village was relentless. Her body became a symbol of fear and suspicion, a constant reminder of how people could be swallowed by ignorance. But my mother was stronger than they could ever imagine. When I was just a few months old, she ran. She fled into the unknown, carrying me in her arms, seeking a new life in the city. Life was tough. We were poor, and my mother worked countless jobs, enduring hardships with a strength I had never seen before. But through it all, she had one goal: to ensure I had the education and opportunities she never had. My mother never spoke of her past to me as a child, but I could see the pain in her eyes. Despite everything she had endured, she never let that define her. Through blood, sweat, and tears, she put me through school. It wasn't easy. We were poor. I had to work part-time jobs, but I made it. I became a doctor, and it was all thanks to my mother's unyielding determination to see me succeed. I promised myself that one day I would return to that village, the place that had rejected her, and show them the truth. My mother was never cursed. She was a woman suffering from a rare medical condition, a hormonal imbalance that caused her to grow facial hair like a man. But in that village, where superstition ruled, there was no room for understanding, only fear. Years later, I returned to the village, not as the boy they once mocked, but as a doctor. The village hadn't changed much. The same elders still held power, and the people still lived in ignorance. I stood before them and told them the truth about my mother. I explained the condition that led to her beard, how elevated androgens in the body could cause women to grow facial hair, and how it had nothing to do with curses or witches. I saw the shame in their eyes as they realized the truth. My mother had suffered not because she was cursed, but because of a condition they failed to understand. I made it my life's mission to educate the people of my village about the dangers of superstition and how it could destroy lives. I never got to see my mother again, but I know that wherever she is, she would be proud of what we've accomplished. Her courage and sacrifice weren't in vain. I returned to the city, but now I carry the story of my mother with me, of how a woman was subjected to ridicule, hatred, and cruelty simply because she was different. But it was through her strength, her determination, and her love for me that I was able to change the future. And so, I stand here today, a doctor with a message. Never let fear and ignorance define you, and never let anyone tell you that being different makes you less than worthy of love and respect.